Hello hobbyist, welcome back again here on our YouTube channel, Happy TV. By the way, this is Mark, and for today's video, we'll be discussing about salt. Yeah, so you can see salt. This is salt. So the question is, does guppy fish really need the salt? I don't think so. But on this video, we'll be discussing about salt, or when or what on how to use salt for your guppy fish and other ornamental fishes. But before anything else guys, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to get updated whenever we have new uploads. And please guys, give this video a like so that in this way this video might help our fellow hobbyists on their fish keeping journey. And now let's jump into the video. So the following questions commonly asked about applying salt to aquarium fish are: should I add salt to my fish tank of guppies or even to other ornamental fishes all the time? When to add salt? Or when to use salt? Or when to avoid salt? Should I use salt all the time? And how to use salt as a medication? And how long should a salt treatment last? Can I use salt for fish in quarantine? So those are questions that we'll be tackling on this video. So the first question is, should I add salt to my fish tank of guppies or even to other ornamental fishes all the time? The answer is no. But if your water is hard with lots of dissolved minerals in it already, you probably do not need to add any additional minerals or salts from an aquarium salt mix. If your water is soft and relatively mineral-free, the addition of small amount of aquarium salts will act as a buffer and help you maintain a constant pH. Some fish are sensitive to the mineral content and salinity of their environment. Some fish from soft water systems like the Rio Negro and parts of the Amazon drainage cannot tolerate high mineral of salt content, for instance. For these fish, one must be careful to add any tiny amounts of salts minerals to give their systems time to adjust. Fortunately, this is not true for most guppy fish because they are a fish that is very tolerant of a wide spectrum of environmental factors and can handle some fairly rapid changes in salinity, pH, mineral content, temperature, and so on. This is one of the big reasons that they have always been so popular in the aquarium trade. So they can handle almost any kind of habitat that the fish keeper throws at them. Some aquarists add salt to aid their fish in resisting external parasites and bacterial skin infections. For some fish, it helps them to maintain an internal water balance. Guppies are fine without additional salt unless the place from which they were originally raised uses water with high mineral concentrations or slightly salinity. But if you're buying common guppies, it is rather common for about 3 to 4 of every dozen fish to die prematurely. This is often due to the acquisition of number of genetic anomalies and congenital defects that tend to accumulate in successive generations, just like that. These fish are bred at an unbelievable rate with respect to generations per year. Congenital defects, genetic conditions, and genetic anomalies or abnormalities are very common, or because due to some inbreeding. This huge genetic variability and flexibility is one of the reasons that guppy populations can survive in the wild in so many different and changing habitats, and is also the reason they make such a wonderful subjects for selective breeding to produce the many hundreds of kinds of fancy guppies. So next time your fish are sick, so the remedy might not be farther away than your kitchen table. So ordinary table salt is a useful remedy for the prevention and treatment of several freshwater fish diseases. It assists in the healing of injuries and promotes the formation of slime coating and improves gill function, reduces the uptake of nitrite, just like that, and decreases osmotic stress and is even effective against some external parasites. However, some plant and fish species cannot tolerate much salt, so it must be used with caution. So in these cases, some of the same benefits can be achieved by using commercial slime enhancing or stress coat products. So let's go to when to use salt. So when it comes to nitrite poisoning, the addition of 1/2 ounce or 1 level tablespoon of salt per gallon fresh water is beneficial for preventing nitrite from poisoning your fish in a newly set up tank. And also, when it comes to parasites, many external parasites can be effectively reduced with the use of salt, particularly itch or white spots infestations. And when to avoid salt. When it comes to live plants also, if you have live plants in your aquarium, avoid using too much salt, because plants can be damaged with a relatively low dosage of salt, which is one reason it is best to treat sick fish in your separate hospital tank rather than your regular aquarium. So when it comes to scaleless fish also, so scaleless fish species do not have the added barrier that scale provide, so they cannot tolerate much salt. So the Corydoras catfish are particularly sensitive to salt, so as are tetras. Salt used in aquariums with this species should be no more than 1 level teaspoon per gallon of water. So in contrary to popular opinion, it is not advisable to add salt to your aquarium on an ongoing basis, unless the fish are species that require brackish or partially salinated water conditions. And let's go to how to use salt as medication. Actually, I'm gonna give you 3 levels of treatment. So first level of treatment is that 1 tablespoon of salt per 3 gallons of water. Add 1 tablespoon of salt per 3 gallons of water. You can pour the salt directly into the aquarium or hospital tank, but some people like to dissolve the salt in a small cup of water first. It is used to fight mild cases of bacterial and fungal infections, plus it gently irritates the fish's slime coat, causing the fish to make more beneficial mucus that can block some parasites and microorganisms from reaching its body. Keep the fish in the salt solution for 4 to 5 days and then increase the concentration if there's no improvement. So if still there's no improvement, so let's go to level 2 treatment. So in level 2 treatment, 1 tablespoon salt per 2 gallons of water. So use a concentration of 1 tablespoon of salt per 2 gallons of water for the next level of treatment, because level 2 treatment is capable of combating a wider range of illnesses. So for example, you can use this recipe to treat itch, also known as white spot disease, for a period of 10 days. However, if the symptoms are only getting worse after 5 days, so try increasing the concentration again. So level 3 treatment. On level 3 treatment, 1 tablespoon salt per gallon of water. So when medications and the lower salt levels have no still effect, it is time to bring out the big guns. So raise the concentration to 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, and on this potent solution will knock out nearly everything. So level 3 treatment is very hard on scaleless fish and other sensitive species, so please do some research beforehand. So we personally have found rasboras, danios, goldfish, koi fish, tetras, salvadolars, and live bearers like guppies and mollies, and most cichlids as well as their fry to be fairly salt tolerant. Even Neocaridina shrimp are quite hardy in salt. And how long should the salt treatment last? So leave the salt in the aquarium until the fish look healthy, and then remove the salt by doing water changes. At the end of treatment, do a 30% water change without adding any salt, and then wait a week for observation. If the disease does not come back, so do another 30% water change without replacing the salt and wait another week. And if the disease returns, dose back to the original salt concentration and add a little more salt to increase the solution strength. The original salt concentration probably wasn't strong enough to completely conquer the sickness, or the fish did not spend enough time in the salt solution to dehydrate all the pathogens. And can I use salt for fish in quarantine, especially guppies, just like that? The answer is yes. You can treat new fish using the level 1 low salt dosage for 2 weeks. This solution should eradicate roughly 60% of potential illnesses. You can also use this technique for healing any fish that got beat up and needs some solitary recovery time in your hospital tank. While grabbing a box of fish medication may seem like the easiest answer because salt is remarkable because of its ability to treat mystery diseases that are hard to diagnose. Plus, certain countries are starting to restrict sales of antibiotics and other drugs used in the pet trade to minimize risk to human and environmental health. In the future, aquarium salt may become your next best friend when it comes to treating sick fish. So let's go to good and bad side of using salt. Good side of using salt. Salt can be one of the most powerful and effective treatments for stress and many illnesses. It is something that should be on hand for any aquarist. When something goes wrong in an aquarium and the fish are stressed for some reason, the first thing that you should be done is a water change. If that is not enough, so the next thing that should be done is to add some salt. And the standard dosage, just follow the guidelines that we mentioned earlier. So some fish respond very well to salt treatment. These fish include goldfish and live bearers like guppies, mollies, swordtails, and platies. It is amazing how so often all that is needed to treat what seem like severe problems of water changes and some aquarium salt. This is much more natural and less stressful way of handling many issues than harmful, toxic chemical medications. And let's go to bad side of using salt. The problem with salt is that it's often suggested to be added all the time with every water change. These are freshwater fish, not the brackish fish or marine fish, just take note to that. So they do not need salt added to their water. They have adapted to freshwater chemistry, that is what their kidneys can handle. Adding salt all the time, especially at the dosing suggested by the companies selling salt who want you to buy a lot of it, yeah, that's too obvious. It's not good for the long-term health of the fish. So, hope you got me. And thank you so much guys for watching this video till the end, and hopefully this guide will help you on your fish keeping journey. And of course, if you like this video, please give us a like to enable this video reach more of our hobbyists. And subscribe to our channel to get updated of our coming videos like this one. And if you have any comments, questions, and clarifications, just drop your comments down below or follow us on our FB page at hobbytv.ph or just click the link below description. And I will do my best to answer all of your inquiries there. So please be safe everyone. To God be the glory. Bye bye.